Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we're looking into what's on their mind and I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is Tarot of the Curious Creatures and pile number two is Tarot of Mystical Moments. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today, but I do hope that at least one of the piles' messages do resonate. There is going to be an extended for this reading, so let's take a look at what you can expect in the extended for today. So first off, we're going to be looking into what do they want with you in this connection. We're also going to be looking into what would they say to you if they could. How are they feeling about you right now and their next move towards you and this connection. Details for the extended is going to be there in the description box below. Now, please be careful of scammers. I would never reach out to you asking you to follow or subscribe or book a private reading, so just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. Hi pile 1, for those of you who chose Tarot of the Curious Creatures, this is going to be your reading, right? Before we get into the reading, let's take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Alrighty, pile 1, what's on your person's mind? Let's take a look. What is on pile 1's person's mind? We have the Hermit, we have the Two of Cups, we have the Three of Pentacles, Six of Wands, the Sun, Death, Nine of Cups. I also have your Oracle cards, so we're going to look into that. We have Observer, yes, I did get that energy. We have Iris, we have Manipulation, we have Alignment, and 7979 with Transformation. Okay. It's interesting. We have a bit of like double energy coming in your readings with Observer and Hermit and Transformation and Death. This could be a no contact, but it doesn't have to be. But right now, your person's reflecting on this connection. It's kind of like your person is thinking about what's next for the two of you. Where are both of you going next from here? So for some of you, I do see that maybe this is a next no contact and your person is thinking about the next steps in this connection, like maybe to reach out to you or maybe to start a conversation with you, to start maybe talking about where both of you are at. For those of you who are in contact, it could be about where both of you are going next, whether your goals align for the future, how are you both going to work on the future, how are you both going to give the best possible outcome for this situation between the two of you? Like what path is going to lead to the most successful outcome between the two of you? So it doesn't have to be a no contact, though for some of you, I am getting that it could be a no contact. Now, for some reason, there seems to be some kind of external influence coming through the energy. This manipulation seems to be more external than within your person. I do feel that maybe your person might be, I guess I would say it could even come as societal conditioning. It could be maybe someone else told your person, oh, don't think too far ahead. You know, you're just kidding yourself. You know, it might have been projection of someone else's wounds that might have come onto your person. But now they're starting to recognize that that line of thought does not align with them. And it's kind of like whatever they were taught or however they were taught to perceive this situation, there is that misalignment that your person's feeling, like something's not fitting right with it. And so maybe for a while your person was following that route, but now they're realizing that they want to shift out of it. And that, I feel, is alignment to what your person truly wants for themselves, rather than what someone else wants for them or what is perceived as the norm for someone else. So maybe the next steps for both of you might not be what is normal, I guess, what is considered normal or what is considered the traditional path, So however it works for both of you is what your person needs to align to, and that's something that they're thinking at this point in time. So there could be something different about your connection, like for example, this could be maybe different races, different religions. It could just be that maybe both of you don't want to take a traditional route, want to go another way. For some of you, it could be even something as like like choosing not to have your own children, but instead fostering, or instead adopting. It could be something as, it's not the normal as considered by the society, and I feel like putting that into quotes because, well, what is normal? But it might just be different from what other people perceive as normal, or at least around your person. And I think at one point your person might have followed that line of thought, but now it's kind of like, no, I've got to take steps that are in alignment with me, and that is the transformation that's happening. It's your person learning how to take a stand for their desires and what makes them happy. And what makes both of you happy may not really resonate with someone else, or it might not be what another group of people feel happy about. So that is something that your person's understanding, that they have to align to themselves. They have to align to their desires rather than what is considered the norm or what other people have been doing. And so right now your person's a little bit more in a withdrawal mode because there's a shift going on within them. What they perceive to be, oh, this is the path that I have to follow. It's kind of like your person's understanding that there are other paths. Other paths can open up if only they take the step. They have to choose those other paths. It's not just one simple or one direct path to wherever they want to get to. So even just that understanding seems to be, kind of filling your person with hope that, oh, okay, well, maybe it's not going to be the path that everyone wants, but I can still find happiness on this path. Another message that's coming to me is it's possible your person was taught that only in that path your person is going to achieve happiness, or they're going to be fully satisfied. But what your person is realizing at this point is, no, that's not true. There are many different paths that I can take that can still bring me joy, and possibly the path that brings me the most joy or the most peace might not resonate with other people, and that's okay. So it's kind of like stepping into a version of themselves that's okay with disappointing. Wow, hold on. Yeah, back. I think one of my neighbors is cooking something with heavy masala. Oh my gosh, it just got stuck in my throat. All right, so anyway, so I think that one thing that your person's understanding is they get to choose for themselves, and so that by itself, they're starting to recognize that it's okay for me to disappoint people, or it's okay for me not to align with what other people want for me. So there's a little bit of a growth that's going on. Frankly, I do feel a bit of a massive growth. So maybe your person might have felt very compelled to follow what other people wanted for them in the past, or maybe there's a sense of obligation, sense of responsibility on your person's shoulder, or it feels a little bit more like they projected it onto your person, and so your person might be breaking through those bonds at this point in time, not necessarily with anger or with resentment. I think that your person also, with the butterfly coming through, I think that there's a delicate balance of respecting where they're coming from, but also choosing their own path for themselves. Like I said, right now, a little bit more of observer status, because I think that your person is trying to understand how they can come out of the situation, balancing everything. It's not just choosing their path, but also perhaps not hurting the other people around them or not disrespecting them. That could also be it. And it's also about, how do I choose a path that is most aligned to me? And especially when you're kind of diverging from the norm, right? It's scary. It's a bit scary because what if other people have been right? You know, there's a reason why it was considered the norm, right? So, but you're diverging from that. So there's a little bit of that fear that comes through. But I think that your person, like the current energy is that your person knows what makes them truly happy. And it's not the path that was set out for them, or it's not the path that they were forced to get onto, or they felt that pressure to get onto. And so now the question, and your person, like what's on their mind right now, this is what they're thinking is, well, do I have it in me to go on that path? I know that path is open to me, but do I have it in me to get onto that path? But with the sun and the hope coming out with Iris especially, I do feel that your person's very hopeful. There is already that internal pull within them, or I guess the internal push within them to take steps on this path. But it's a lot of thinking. Like they need to go through that thought process. And I feel you and the love that this person has for you is a major motivation at this point. And they feel like both of you can work things out on that path of alignment, not the other one. There's something off about it that your person knows, but it's kind of like, yes, we will be able to find our success on this path that I will choose that does not go according to the norm. So a lot of thinking going on with your person at this point. Hold on, let me see if any other messages want to come through, or a little bit up in the air, yes, but it does look like your person's stepping on that path. Yeah, a little bit of their own thought processes kind of working against them. Like I said, you know, when you kind of diverge from the norm, it's scary, you know, because you are creating a path for yourself that you probably have not seen anyone else do. And so there's also that fear, right? Just because I believe that it is going to be successful, does it really mean that it is going to be a success? Or does it really mean that it is going to work out? What if my projections of what I thought was that path and my projections of it, yeah, what if it's not true? What if I was kidding myself, you know? So a little bit of that shift going on within your person where they have to recognize and trust what they intuitively feel about this path and where they need to get to. So it is going to take your time. It is going to take your person time to step out of this energy, this hermit energy a little bit. But it looks like the burden of continuing down this path is going to weigh so much on them that they will have no choice but to step into alignment and follow the path that brings them the most joy. All right, whatever that could mean for the two of you, that is a bit up in the air at this point, because I think there are just so many situations. But overall, I think that your person is going to choose their happiness, what makes them truly, I guess, fulfilled on the inside as well. Okay, Pile 1, this is where I will leave you for today. All right, I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you were looking for. There is going to be an extended, so let's take a look at some other things that we are going to be looking at in the extended. So we're going to be looking at what do they want with you in this connection, right? We are also going to be looking into what would they say to you if they could. How are they feeling about you right now? And their next move towards you and this connection. Okay, so if you're interested in the extended, details are in the description box below. Yeah, I also want to say that my private readings are also open at this point, so you can take a look at the details of it in the description as well. But if this is where you choose to leave me, then I just want to say thank you so much for all your love and positive energy. Pile 1, take care, trust your intuition, you always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi, Pile 2. For those of you who chose Tarot of Mystical Moments, this is going to be your reading, all right? But before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes. Think of your person. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Alrighty. Pile 2. What is on your person's mind? Let's take a look. We have King of Pentacles in the feminine energy. We have Queen of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Death, Two of Cups, the Fool. Okay. We also have your Oracle card, 7171 with Spiritual, Happy, Magic, Vixia Yonjin. With every breath, I climb higher to reach my goals. Between worlds. Okay. I think that your person has not been focused on this connection for a while. For some of you, yes, this could be no contact, but for others of you, I am seeing that maybe your person's attention has been elsewhere lately. Seems to be something to do with their finances. It looks like your person might be justifying to themselves or even to you that I really need to focus on this aspect because it is what is going to give me long-term stability. It is what is going to help to transform my life. And you might be a little bit disappointed about why your person is probably not spending time with you, not talking to you. Maybe they have withdrawn a bit. It doesn't look like withdrawn from society of sorts. It just feels like their attention is elsewhere at this point in time. What is on their mind is they're starting to realize that this is affecting you. I think that you have been really patient with them. You have been focusing your energy inwards. You have been realigning to yourself. Whether this is no contact or contact, I do see that there has been some kind of a glow up within you. Maybe you were really frustrated with your person for a while and then you stopped being frustrated and you started focusing your energy to yourself. Maybe you started, doing something that brought you joy, that brought you happiness. And it's kind of made you irresistible to your person, Paltu. And now it's kind of like your person's watching you have this glow up. And because your energy is so irresistible, because you're not after them about why they're not giving you attention or why they haven't been engaged in this connection, it's kind of building a desire within them to engage with this connection. It's a bit counterintuitive that's happened on your end, but you are actually causing this shift within your person. If you had continued to focus on them, if you had been asking them, why aren't you giving me time, or why haven't you reached out, or even if you didn't physically reach out to them, if you were constantly focusing on this connection, they would not have had this transformation. It is and only because you have kind of put yourself first. You've chosen yourself. You've put that energy to yourself. Like whatever you need at this point in time from your person, you're giving it to yourself. And it is only and only because you are in that energy that is making you so irresistible to your person. It's kind of like you showing love to yourself is making your person recognize and feel the love that they've always had for you. This is the energy that is the most attractive to them. That's the message that's coming through. And that by itself is kind of making them stop and think, okay, well, I haven't been giving them attention. I haven't been giving them my energy. And right now, I want to. So your person's stepping into, I want to give them my energy. I want to give them my time. But I gotta say, kudos to you, Paltu. If you had not made this shift within you, and if you've not genuinely, it's one thing to think, oh, I'm not thinking about my person, or oh, I'm not energetically in that space. But even if you're thinking about them, or even if you are, kind of looking at the clock, you're still energetically tied, and you're not giving the space for the connection to unfold on its own, or you're not giving your person the space to come to these realizations on their own. And it's only because you've turned inwards and you've given yourself that love that you deserve that this person is kind of looking up from everything that they were focusing on. I'm being called to see like a table and a bunch of papers all over, and someone just completely, their shoulders bent and so focused on their work, and suddenly, something magic is happening outside, and then they look up to see what that is, and that's caught their attention. And I feel that is where you are at right now. Your energy is what is calling your person in, how to. So whatever it is that you're doing, continue doing that. And if you have just started doing it, I think that this is a confirmation that there is power in you focusing on yourself, in you choosing yourself, all right? Now, with respect to what is on your person's mind, it's kind of like they're starting to feel the pull towards you. Even if you are in contact or no contact, they want to come towards you. They want to start engaging with this connection again. They want to start putting in that effort and have some kind of a refreshed energy between the two of you. So for some of you, maybe things have been a little bit dry for a while, or a little bit more standstill energy for quite some time. It's kind of like your person wants to rejuvenate that connection. For those of you who are in no contact, again, it is going to be fresh energy, but it's also about wanting to come into your life, wanting to bring those interactions back between the two of you. Now, I do want to say that it is a bit of transitory energy with between worlds, but your person's recognizing that with you, right, with this irresistible energy that you are in, it just brings color to their life. It adds so much more to their life that they would not have been able to do so on their own, and they've not been able to do so without you in their life, or without this focused energy on you. So every time they've kind of focused on themselves, focused on their finances, it does look like something to do with finances, or even something to do with their perception of long-term stability. Something about wealth also is coming through. Anyway, but just focusing on that and making their entire life revolve around that was actually pretty dull and boring. And that's something that your person's understanding, that yes, it's important to focus on those things, but it's also important to spread out your energy and to also engage with things that add color to your life, that also bring you joy and happiness as well. So it's kind of a lesson that your person's learning of sorts, that you can't just focus on one area of your life and say, oh, okay, well, that is how I'm going to live life and that is how it's going to be awesome. But that's not the way it is. You're meant to live life the way it is unfolding for you. You're meant to experience every aspect of it, not just one aspect. Or it's not like a buffet where you get to choose what you want at this point in your life. No, you've got to experience everything, right? So that is also something that your person is understanding. I do see that they genuinely have been putting in effort towards this personal goal of theirs, but they're also understanding that there's more to life than that. If they were to move a few years down the line, they're going to look back and regret at the time that they could have also engaged in other aspects that brought them genuine joy and happiness as well. I also feel like your person might be chasing something and constantly in the chase mode, just that even if they do achieve the goal that they're looking for, they immediately set a new one. So it looks like your person's like I'm seeing a hamster wheel and a hamster running on that wheel. So it feels endless, this pursuit that your person is in. And I feel like your connection adds life even when your person's on the hamster wheel. Maybe it is necessary for your person at this point in time to focus on their finances, but that doesn't mean they should be sad or isolated or withdrawn or just only focused on that. No, they get to also experience parts of life that add color and life and happiness to them, and your connection is one of them. So it's kind of like right now your person's understanding that they should be engaging in your connection, and they want to. It's like the desire is coming from within them at this point in time. Hold on, let me get you one message or anything that wants to come through. Yeah, I think that even just your energy, like as stressful as this pursuit may be, I think that your energy brings them a lot of comfort, Paltu, and that is something that they have been missing while you have not been there, or while you have been focusing on yourself as well. The thing rang, so you can take that as a confirmation. But one message that's coming through is your person's recognizing that they shouldn't, like, this is not aligned. And if they want to be truly happy, then they need to come forward. They need to learn how to balance different aspects of their life. And they might be thinking about how to get that energy or how to bring about that energy in their life. It might be a lesson that your person's learning at this point. Maybe your person just has been someone who's just been focused only on one aspect in their life. So when you stepped into their life, they thought that that could continue. But they're realizing, no, there's more to life. And it's probably something that your connection was meant to teach them. You know, for your person, maybe it was meant to teach them that there's more to life. And maybe on your end, it was meant to teach you that you've got to choose yourself. The connection cannot be your whole life. You have to choose yourself too. You have to realign to yourself as well. So it looks like both of you are learning lessons, which is probably why we have the spiritual card coming out. But overall, I do say that your person's starting to feel the pull towards you at this point. All right, pile 2, this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you were looking for. There is going to be an extended, so let's take a look at what you can expect in the extended for today. So first off, we're going to be looking into what do they want with you in this connection? What would they say to you if they could? How are they feeling about you right now and their next move towards you and this connection? Okay, so details for the extended is going to be there in the description box below, and my private readings also are open right now. You can check that in the description box below. But if this is where you'd like to leave me, then I just want to say thank you so much for all your love and positive energy, whether it's with the like, share, subscribe, comments, the tips that send in watching my page ads. Those are the ways that I feel your love and positive energy, and I'm really, really grateful for it. How to take care, trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.